The differences, I think La Liga is far more technical. I think a lot of the time teams are allowed to play. I think in the Premier League it's a bit more physical. It's a lot more demanding. I think teams work a lot harder. But of course, like you see, I think the Premier League has changed from when I played to the way it's played today, and La Liga's changed as well. But they were probably the thoughts I picked up on my transition from the EPL to La Liga at that particular time. Well, I don't think it's necessarily difficult. I just think that there hasn't been that many English players have gone to play in La Liga. Firstly, because maybe the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't wanted or haven't needed a lot of the English players. But secondly, I think the Premier League itself is a very good league. It's a very professional league. The structure is very good. And of course, you're asking players sometimes to leave their country if they're married and they have young children. Their children may be in school, so they may not want to leave at that particular time. So I don't necessarily think there's a problem with English players leaving and going to play for these particular sides. I just think the fact that there's only been a handful, I'm trying to think, Michael Owen, David Beckham, Jonathan Woodgate, I'm trying to think of players who have played in La Liga, and principally for the big teams, and how successful they've been. Well, I didn't. I'd say Vicente Del Bosque, of course, because I didn't. Zinedine Zidane was not my manager, but so I'd certainly say Del Bosque because of he was a great man. I mean, what Zinedine Zidane has achieved in 2.5 years at Real Madrid, you have to remember he only took over, I think, in the January. But the fact that he won 3 Champions Leagues in 2.5 years, and he won, he won the double, and he won, far other trophies as well. I think his record will never be beaten. I think in this day and age to win 3 Champions Leagues, I think it's absolutely exceptional. He took over Real Madrid at a difficult time after Rafa Benitez. There was a lot of unrest within the camp, and in a matter of days, he organised the team. They nearly won the league that year, and then the fact that they won 3 Champions League, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's been excellent. I think the fact that we haven't had any major talking points about VAR, I think, says it all. I think it was a big success in the World Cup. It's a great initiative by La Liga to take it on. The fact that we haven't spoken about VAR in the first 3 weeks, I think is really important, because you don't want VAR to dominate every single game. It's been very low key. I think that's exactly how it should work. It's there to help the referee. It's there to help the referee in any contentious issues, but most importantly, it's there to get the right decision. And the fact that we've had a fairly uneventful, 3 weeks with VAR, I think is brilliant. It really is. No, I think players come to La Liga, and players have left La Liga. As I said before, when I played for Real Madrid, we had some incredible football players there who arrived, whether it was Luis Figo who arrived, Zinedine Zidane who arrived, but every player that seemed to come to Real Madrid at that time were World Player of the Years, were the best players in the world. And, since Real Madrid's inception, and since, they started winning the Champions League with Alfredo Di Stefano and Gento, and then you talk about, the era of Barcelona with the Cruyffs and the Ronaldinhos, and, these huge international superstars have been and gone, and La Liga has still, gotten bigger every single year, and the teams like Real Madrid and Barca and, all the other teams, Atleticos and the Sevillas and the Betis, and all the teams we mentioned continue to be very, very popular. So, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is an incredible football player, and Real Madrid will miss him because of what he does on the pitch. He's a very popular man as well. His own social media is extensive. So it's a big loss for La Liga, but I don't think it'll diminish the league as a whole, because the league is far is far more important than just one football player. Well, we'll see. Should they have replaced Cristiano Ronaldo? Most people would have wanted him to be replaced, but I think the only time you can replace a superstar with another superstar is if you can go and buy one. I know that the players they wanted, Neymar, Mbappe, Lewandowski, people like that, they were not available. So if they're not available, you can't buy them. Eden Hazard was mentioned, but he wasn't available from Chelsea. So you can only buy players that are available, and I don't think they had the players that they wanted to choose, to be very honest. But you can't argue with Real Madrid's strategy. They've won the Champions League the last 3 years, so whatever strategy they've used has been the correct one. Well, I think it's up to La Liga, and I can see the importance of the global audience. I can see the fact that a lot of teams and a lot of leagues and a lot of the teams involved have played football outside. It's whether it's in pre-season training, whether it's at the end of the season. Everybody within Indonesia at this moment, it's very important for people to see the football players. A lot of the time the games are on at different times. People haven't got the finances to go and watch the games in the particular countries that they're staged in. So I think it's very important to try and spread the word of football and try and have as many games as they can around the world to let the fans, and there's many of them, see the players in person. I think they won it was only last year that they were not competitive. They won the league the year before, and it's the answer is it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be dominant in La Liga for the whole of the season and also be dominant in the Champions League. There's not many teams that go and do the Champions League, La Liga double. It's very, very difficult to achieve. It's very hard. You need a big squad. You need to keep that big squad happy. So I think that's why Real Madrid struggled last year. Barcelona invested well, and we're just better than them last year. And it's up to whoever it is this year to try and challenge Barcelona. Well, I think they need to work hard. You need to enjoy the game. Depending on what age you have will determine what level you are. But I think the most important thing for children is to enjoy the football. I think that's absolute paramount. Not every child who enjoys football is going to become a professional footballer. It's a long journey, and only a certain few people, a certain percentage of people make it. The most important thing is to enjoy it. Football is a game enjoyed by hundreds of millions of people worldwide, and the main thing is to play with a smile on your face. Enjoy it, play with your friends, work hard, keep fit. And I think the fact that you are part of a team, you are part of 11 players if you play at a certain age in a big sided game, 15, 16 players when you have substitutes. I think it's a very good learning experience. I think you respect your teammates, you're friendly with your teammates, and I think some of these life experiences are very important, but the main thing is to play with a smile on your face. You have to enjoy football. Baca Berita La Liga, die Tablo Bola dan bolesport.com.